Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. First things first, this is not a swimsuit, this is a sports bra. I thought that was gonna look really good with this off the shoulder look, and it's definitely not what I had anticipated, but we're gonna roll with it. I could not be more excited for today's video. I am starting another year of Pan Those eyeshadows, and I have some new rules for this year that I'm really excited about. I literally can't wait to start this. So if you guys have not heard of the Pan Those eyeshadows project, it was started by Lexi. I will have her channel and her playlist linked down below. Last year she did a Pan That palette, but 2 years ago, the past 2 years, prior 2 years before last year, she had done the Pan Those eyeshadows project, and now so many people are doing Pan Those eyeshadows, and I freaking love eyeshadow, and I love this project. I had so much fun with it last year. But there were a few things that I wanted to tweak with my project this year to make me feel a little bit more inspired, maybe stop me from feeling like maybe I'm getting in a rut, and to also help me potentially cycle through or rotate through my eyeshadow collection a little bit better in case I'm not hitting pan on some of the eyeshadows that I randomly selected. So that being said, if you are excited and if you want to see the intro to my Pan Those eyeshadows project, then stay tuned. First, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I hope you'll consider doing so before you go. I do post videos 5 days a week, but other than that, let's get into this video. Okay, you guys, so if you don't know what this project is all about, essentially, you randomly select 5 eyeshadows from your shadow collection. So I have all of my eyeshadows from all of my palettes, Z palette, singles, etc. Liquid shadows I've also included. They're all listed in a spreadsheet, and I randomly select 5 eyeshadows to work on until I hit pan. Now, as I said in the introduction, there are a few things I want to add as rules or stipulations to maybe help me feel not so stuck at times. So for this project this year, I am going to, again, randomly select 5 shades, but then I'm also going to select a 6th shade, but I'm going to choose the shade. I can choose whatever I want. So I'll be working on 6 shades at a time. I will do monthly updates. If I do not hit pan on any of the shades that given month, I have the opportunity to roll out the shade that I selected, but only the one that I selected, so that sometimes I feel like I have to hit pan on a shade before an update, or it's going to be lame because we won't be rolling in a new shade. So that is why I've decided to do this. And then on top of that, if a shade has been rolling for 3 months or more, and as long as I've used that shade a minimum of 15 times within those 3 months, at the 3-month mark, I have the opportunity to roll that shade out if I would like to. So those are some new rules that I'm going to add to my personal project. Again, like, everyone can make this their own, but would love if you guys are interested to join in this project, or if you're doing it, leave me a link to your Instagram, to your YouTube, whatever. Let me know how it's going down below. I love watching Pan Those eyeshadows videos. There's something just so satisfying about pan in eyeshadows. But those are the rules that I have. I hope you guys are excited for this. So now let's jump into the 6 eyeshadows we're going to start the year out with. Oh, one more thing I wanted to say. So I believe I have 950 eyeshadows / liquid shadows currently in my collection, and I have pan on 21 of those. So that's roughly 2% of my eyeshadow collection. So my goal this year is to have at least, so by the end of the year, I want to have pan in at least 5% of my eyeshadow palette collection, which I know sounds like a ridiculously low number, but that's my goal. The goal is to have at least 5% pan in my eyeshadow palette collection. Let's hope I can do this. Okay, so I'm going to go into my Pretty Random app, and I'm going to randomly generate 5 numbers between 1 and 958. I did recently go through my entire eyeshadow collection, take out everything that I had decluttered. I also had 4 palettes that weren't listed, and then I added like my liquid shadows and stuff. So this is very up to date, very up to date. But we're going to randomize 5 numbers. So we get number 730. I should have grabbed a pen. 730. Number 818. Number 827. I did end up grabbing a pen. Number 391. and number 218. All right, so then we're going to jump over to my spreadsheet. I'm nervous. Okay, so starting with number 218, we have the Violet Voss Essentials palette, and I have the cream shades, which I believe is probably just an all over lid setting shade, so I'm cool with that because I feel like I can easily hit pan on that. Then we had number 391. 391 comes from my Huda Gemstone palette. Oh Lord, I'm nervous. And it is going to be the 5th shade in that palette. Literally have no idea, but I just know it's probably a colorful shimmer shade. Then we had number 817. Oh wait, no, 818. So we'll go way down. 818 comes from my ABH and Carly Bible palette, and it's going to be the 8th shade in that palette. I, for some reason, didn't write the actual names of this. Okay, so then number 827 is going to be out of my Pat McGrath Bronze Temptation palette. Oh boy. And that is going to be in the shade Bronze Blaze. And then the last one, oh, I have to go back, is number 730, which comes from my ColourPop Baby Got Peach palette, and it is in the shade Get Even. So I'm going to go grab those palettes as well as the palette that I'm going to select for myself to work on, and I will be right back to show you what shades, or I'll swatch the shades for you so we can see what I'm going to be working with. Alright guys, so first up we had from the Violet Voss Essentials palette the shade Cream, and okay, I was right, it is like a cream shade, but it's not an all over lid setting shade, it's more of like an inner corner highlight shade. Shoot, I should swatch this like in order. Okay, so it is like an icy champagne shimmery shade. I feel like I can get some use out of this. I have no idea how deep these pans are, and I haven't used this palette a ton. I don't think I've used this cream shade at all, so we're starting from fresh here. So that was out of that palette. Then we had, I believe it was the Huda Gemstones next, and it was shade number 5 in this one. Great. We get this shimmery purple shade. Let's just hope. So it is stunning and beautiful. I just, you know, I reach for these shades all the time. This will be interesting, but it is beautiful. So hoping I can somehow get some use out of that. Then we had from my Carly Bible palette the 8th shade in here. So, oh, that is going to be this shade right here, which is in the shade Bear, which does appear like it has some shimmer to it as well, but it looks to be, oh, I feel like I can use this definitely to set my lids. That one should not be hard for me to hit pan on. So that is from the ABH Carly Bible palette. Then from the, what am I thinking? From the ColourPop Baby Got Peach palette. I never know if I'm getting like the right, oh, they have them in here too. So I have the shade Get Even right here, which in the pan kind of reminds me of a shade I really love out of, yep, on the swatched, it's definitely not, never mind. So there is that shade. It is like a bright pinky gold shimmer. Not a shade I reach for a whole lot either, but what do you do? And then finally, out of the Pat McGrath Bronze Temptation palette, it is going to be the shade, I gotta figure out which one it is. Okay, so it is going to be this middle shade up top in the shade, I think Bronze Blaze. Yep, Bronze Blaze. Looks like a beautiful, beautiful bronze shade. This one I feel like I should be able to get some use out of pretty easily. I don't know how easy or hard it is to pan Pat McGrath shadows, and this is relatively new to my collection, but this is, you know, this is what the Pretty Random app wanted for me. And then for the shade that I want to work on, I'm choosing an easy one, you guys. It's going to come from my Natasha Jonah mini star palette, and I'm going to be selecting this shade right here, which I believe is in the shade Earth. It is just a neutral matte transition shade. It's like my perfect neutral transition, and I feel like I should have no problem hitting pan on this. I swatched it right down here. Such an easy shade for me to use every day. I wanted to start with an easier shade, a selection of an easier shade, so that I could feel motivated, hopefully start the year out right, hopefully hit pan pretty quickly, and just motivate myself. And then as the year progresses, maybe I'll get a little bit more daring and choose something a little bit more daring for myself. But I hope that you guys are excited about this project. I know I am so excited to be doing this again. Again, if you are working on this project, leave me a comment down below. Let me know how I can track your progress, etc. But thank you guys so much for sticking around to watch today's video, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye.